Hey, you guys, so I'm back again with another message. And after I had recorded a previous message, I was sitting here listening to it while doing some work on the computer. And God clearly dropped in my spirit. He said, Unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. I'm going to repeat that again. Unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. And when people allow unforgiveness to lead to misassumptions, it can ruin a lot of relationships. Unforgiveness can cause someone to jump to a whole lot of conclusions. And I'm gonna give an example. So the example that God had dropped in my spirit is like if someone has been hurt in previous relationships, right? So say for instance a female has been hurt in her previous relationships over and over and over again. Instead of taking the time to go get healing, instead of taking the time to unlearn the toxic behaviors, they just build a misassumption that all men are dogs, that all men cheat, that all men are unfaithful, which is not true. So they begin to build false narratives based upon their personal experiences instead of going and getting the healing and the help that they need so they can identify the red flags, so they won't ignore the red flags, so they can know how to properly date, because it's a way that you're supposed to properly date or I would say vet, okay? Because I said before, we as Christians, we're really not supposed to be dating like that. We're supposed to be vetting. So how to properly vet a spouse or vet a significant other. So they begin to create misassumptions or false narratives about someone. Where they believe that since they were cheated on, that all men cheat, and try to create a false narrative or a false story, giving off vibes that one of their friends, significant others, might be cheating on them, when that might not be the case. Because they haven't unlearned the untoxic behaviors, they haven't unlearned the unhealthy situations and went to go heal, right? So misassumptions, projecting because they have been hurt, they have been manipulated that way. And we got to understand too, y'all, misery love company. But God is saying that unforgiveness leads to misassumptions, leads to false narrative, leads to things that are not incorrect when that person has not truly forgiven the other person and not has truly healed. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And that goes with the saying where people, when you don't heal, you bleed on other people. And that's how you bleed on other people. When you put misassumptions and your theories that are in your head that are not necessarily true on other people, trying to, and not realizing that you're not only ruining your personal relationship with a person, but also you're trying to ruin maybe a marriage if you feel like that your friend's spouse is cheating on them, when that's not true. It's just that you just have this assumption in your mind that all men cheat, or all men are dogs, when they're not that way. And God is saying unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And God also dropped this in my spirit. Another example. When it comes to vetting someone, if God is sending you a person, y'all are supposed to vet each other. Because of your unforgiveness, it will cause you to mistreat the person that did nothing wrong to you, and for you to take all your anger and frustration out on a person that did nothing wrong to you, this new person. So pretty much this new person that came in your life got to pay for what the old person did to you. That is unforgiveness that is leading to misassumption. All people are not the same. I have this thing to where I let people fill out people for themselves. I let people learn things about a person for themselves. Everybody has their own opinion about people. Even though something might not have went right with me, with a person, I'll let another person learn from that person themselves. I let another person create their own narrative, create their own opinion about that person for themselves. And so a lot of people have said they respect that about me, even though, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. 9 times out of 10, you still gotta let another person learn the person for themselves, so they can see what you see, so they can experience what you have experienced. Um, because everybody's perception of things are different. And I give people that right to learn a person for themselves. But God clearly dropped in my spirit. He said that unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. So if you have been around unforgiving people, that if you have been around family members, friends that are struggling with unforgiveness, um, that's where a lot of the bad advice came from, because they were struggling with unforgiveness, which led to the misassumptions and misconceptions, because they're struggling with unforgiveness. All right. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to business, when it comes to how to handle things personally, a lot of bad advice was given out of someone's unforgiveness, which led to misassumptions. That's why I tell people, when you're coming out fresh out of a relationship, you don't need to be dating nobody. You need to go do the work. You need to go heal. You don't need to get nobody no type of advice. You need to just go heal and work on you. Because whatever state and posture that you're in, that's the advice that you're going to get from that posture, whatever you in, whatever heart posture you in. And that advice cannot be good sound advice, because you are hurting and you're not healed. So unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions, which can be very, very, very dangerous. All right, very dangerous. Um, very, very dangerous. And you will know when someone has an unforgiving heart, um, because they will say malicious and hateful things. They'll be nice, nasty. That's an unforgiving heart. Um, they will be spiteful. Um, and a lot of people, thank you, Holy Spirit, that struggle with unforgiveness are unhappy. So you might want to go back and watch that video about the signs of unhappiness. But, and I'm going to have to do a video probably about unforgiveness, signs of unforgiveness. But that's how you will know. When a person will render evil for evil, when they can't forgive, when they always wishing bad on people, when they're trying to backstab people, um, be mindful, because God is saying unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. Um, when you notice people are struggling, when you notice people need to do the inner work, go and get your advice from God. I told you guys this before, you can't listen in the previous video, that you can't listen to everybody. You can't get advice from everybody, because a lot of these people that are going through in this season, in this time, they're dealing with unforgiveness. They're dealing with not having the right heart posture, and so they're leading God's children astray, because they're not giving good sound counsel, because they're not in a good predicament in a situation for themselves to give good sound counsel when it comes to the things and how they're doing in life. All right. So again, God is saying that unforgiveness can lead to misassumptions. All right. So that's where a lot of the bad advice and stuff that you were receiving came from, is because you were confiding in somebody that had a heart posture, and they're struggling with a heart posture of unforgiveness. All right. So I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day, and I will chat with you all later.